Hello, and welcome to episode 12 of Time Between Times. Your weekly storytelling fix from me, Owen Staton. I hope you're all keeping well. The nights are starting to draw in. The time between times grows longer. The witching hour is close at hand, says the song. But not this week. This week we're going to go talk about one of my favourite tales. A tale I've told many times all around the world. And a tale that I hope you are hearing for the first time. But if not, sit back and enjoy it. For it's one of the great tales of Wales. One of those tales that always sticks with you. And one of those tales that many people consider their favourite. So, whatever you're doing, whatever you are, whoever you are, stop. Sit back, relax. Let the modern world flow away like the tide. Let the modern world drift away like a river. Close your eyes, relax, and pretend that we can leave behind all the trappings of now. Leave behind all the darkness and sadness of these days. And step back into the time when the day grows old and the night is young. The time when the veil between our world and the fairy world grows wafer thin. The time between times. The time when it is neither night nor day, but the sun has gone and the sky is grey. And let me take you back hundreds of years to a place called Llyn Fach. A place so beautiful. It is the envy of everyone who goes there. A small lake nestled in the beacons like a pond from afar. Its surface is like glass. The sun always seems to shine there, and the mountains are high all around it. And many hundred years ago, a shepherd sat next to Llyn Fach watching his sheep as he had done many days, and his mind started to wander. He wondered if this was his lot in life, and not that he was unhappy. This was a beautiful place. This was a place to be. This was a place to sit. But he wondered, like many of us do, was this all that he had in life? His sheep grazed. He lay back and listened to the silence, which in that place is so grand. But suddenly, on the silence, he heard the notes of a song so beautiful it was like the lark had sung it herself. And there, the top of the lake just started to break and shimmer, and out of the lake there rose a hand. And then dragging herself out of the lake with all the grace of an angel came the Lady of Llyn Fach. She drifted on the top of the water and started to dance around. Caper, dance, twist and spin, up and down, diving under the water, leaving not a splash, and rising up again. And the shepherd was entranced. He had never known such beauty. He watched the maidens sing and dance and caper, until finally she turned and looked at him. He did not know what to do, so he reached into his bag and pulled the bread he had brought up to eat that day, handed her piece. Her milky white hand reached out and grabbed the bread and put it in her mouth. Then her face turned sad for a moment. And she said to him, "Hard-baked is your bread. You will not marry me." And with that she turned and dived under the water and was gone. The next day the shepherd returned to the lake, but this time he brought soft-baked bread with him, hoping to entice the maiden once more. Again, as the sun was high in the sky and the sheep were lost in their own dreams and aspirations, whatever they may be, her hand once again reached out of the lake. She danced and sang and spun and capered, till she came close to the shepherd once more, and this time he brought out another piece of bread. She put it in her mouth, chewed on it, smiled and looked at him. "Soft-baked is your bread. You will not marry me." And with that she turned and dived into the water and was gone again. A third day, this time, he made sure his bread was not hard-baked nor soft-baked, and came to the lake once more. And again she came out of the water, danced and capered. Then it felt like every animal around the lake was watching the beauty of this lady as she danced in the lake. He gave her the bread once more. She chewed on it and smiled. "I will be your wife. Your bread is perfect. But know this, that if you strike me 3 times, I will return to the lake and never come back to you. Do you understand?" "I would never strike you," said the shepherd, "for you are everything to me." They were married. Only weeks later, all the village gathered round, none of them knowing where this otherworldly lady had come from. They all blessed the luck of the shepherd. And they, the happy couple, were the happiest people in all the Brecon Beacons. All the small villages would gather to see this bride. But time went on, and a year had passed since they were married, and they were gifted with a small babe, a son. They were the happiest people of all. But on this day they were due to visit a wedding. They were all getting ready, and the Lady of Llyn, as she dressed, sang, and was late. The shepherd started to go anxious. He thought, "Where can I go? She's going to be late for the wedding. We'll be late for the ceremony." And she rushed into the room where the lady was getting ready and tapped her on the shoulder. "My love, my love." She spun around. "You have touched me. You have struck me. Twice more, and I will be gone." The shepherd's heart almost broke in that moment. 2 more chances was all he had. Another year passed, and another child came to them, and they were blessed. They were truly the happiest people in all of Wales when they were due to go sadly to a funeral. They watched as the funeral cortege made its way past their house. The lady seemed lost in trance and watched the cortege go into the distance. The rain started to fall, and the shepherd tapped her on the shoulder once more and said, "My love, my..." "Twice you have struck me. Once more, and I shall be gone forever." Another year passed, another child was born to them, for they were truly blessed. But as the year passed, the shepherd and his maid were again to go out and dance under the midsummer sun. All the village were gathered, but she was late. The shepherd looked out, could see down there. Everyone had gathered around, and some were looking up at the house, awaiting the arrival of the mysterious beauty who was the wife of the shepherd. "Come on, my love, come on, they wait for us. The night grows cold, it will soon be the time between times." He tapped her on the shoulder once more. She turned to him. "My love, all 3 chances are gone. You have tapped me 3 times. 3 times you have struck me. I am leaving. I must return to where my folk do dwell." With that, she turned around. She walked out of the house and made her way up toward Llyn y Fach. The shepherd ran after her, ran as fast as he could, but even though her walk seemed slow, he did not seem to be able to catch her until she reached the lake. Slowly walked up to her ankles, to her knees, to her waist, to her neck, where she finally turned, looked at the shepherd, and vanished under the water. The shepherd was grief-stricken. He ran into the lake, dived under the water, but of his wife there was no sound. Every day he returned there and watched the lake. Whether it be sun or storm, rain or night or day, but he never saw her again until he died an old and broken man. Their 3 children grew up. Each of them developed an interest in medicine and became great healers. The healers of Myddfai they were known, and are still famous in that part of Wales to this day. The shepherd died of a broken heart, but it is said that should you visit Llyn Fach, where the sky is always bright, where the sun always seems to shine, and where that lake is always crystal still, you sit and take in the silence. You are very, very, very lucky. She will come out of the water and she will dance for you, the Lady of Llyn Fach. That, my friends, is one of Wales's most famous tales, and a worthy addition to our collection that we are slowly gathering here. Many years ago, I was very lucky to go to that place on a bright summer's day, just like in the story. Me and a friend made a video there of me telling the tale at the banks of the river, banks of the lake even. And I will put a link to that in the comments below. Please, I hope you're enjoying these tales. If you are, leave a nice comment. If you are and want to subscribe, I would be very, very grateful. But in the meantime, take care. Know you're always safe here in the time between times, where our imagination runs wild. Soon it will be Halloween, and I will have a nice ghostly tale ready for you then. If you can think of one you'd like me to tell, then why not put it in the comments? I've got some ideas, but I'm waiting to see what you have to say. In the meantime, take care, enjoy, no style.